expressed their sadness over the ending of the My Little Pony Mystery Series, and so the writer of the tapes, Desiree Skylark, decided that it was high time that another story was added to the series, or at least a special to follow on from it. Wish You Were Here contains some rather sad news concerning two of our main characters, and was written as a kind of tribute for them. This tape is not nearly so scary as the stories contained within the My Little Pony Magic series and My Little Pony Mystery series, and so there may be no need for me to warn you not to listen to this tape within 3 or 5 hours of bedtime. Although, of course, we cannot guarantee that this tape will not distress you or disturb you in some way. That being said, maybe it is about time that we moved on with the My Little Pony Magic Mystery Special. Wish You Were Here. Neighborland is a place where we all go. Distant as it may seem to mystery place, but I guess one day we'll know how it feels to live your dream, meeting other friends we've lost over the years gone by. Your younger friends you've taught good things from their class, one day they'll join us all in the sky. Rainbow Land is filled with all your fantasies, all of your dreams come true. Rainbow Land, the place where you do as you please, and everyone still loves you. Hearts and as we miss you, wish to see your face. Don't be sad, they'd love it if they knew you're now in the best place. You can't feel lonely in this magic land. You're a human, guinea, pig, rabbit or pony, you'll find friends are always at hand. Don't despair, everyone's reunited there. Years go past, yet love still lasts its grand. You felt yourself growing old and weak, feeling so bad, the words you could not speak. Then you grew wings of great length, flew way up high with new strength. Rainbow Land is filled with all your fantasies, all of your dreams come true. Rainbow Land's the place where you do as you please, and everyone still loves you. Hearts on earth will miss you, wish to see your face. Don't be sad, they'd love it if they knew you're now in the best place. You can't feel lonely in this magic land. You're a human, guinea, pig, rabbit or pony, you'll find friends are always at hand. Don't despair, everyone's reunited there. Years go past, yet love still lasts its grand. You felt yourself growing old and weak, feeling so bad, the words you could not speak. Then you grew wings of great length, flew way up high with new strength. Rainbow Land is so near to you and I. Each time a different depart in distance, it's a long way up in the sky. You'll find it's closer in our hearts. Rainbow Land is the place where we all go. Rainbow Land is the place where we all go. Rainbow Land is the place where we all go. Rainbow Land, 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 Productions are proud to present Wish You Were Here, a My Little Pony magical mystery special, dedicated to the memory of Sparkle and his fictional brother Twinkle.
I just can't believe it,
splodged the little black-nosed Abyssinian who lived at Desiree Skylark's My Little Pony rescue home, sat sadly in the corner of his hutch, crying to himself.
For everything good that happens, something really, really horrible has to happen too. Not mean?
I do indeed, Splodge. I can't believe that a week has gone by already. It was Tuesday the 12th of June 2007, and Splodge's dear friend Desiree's other pet guinea pig, Sparkle, had gone to Rainbow Land the previous week. Along with his brother Twinkle, it appeared. It had been quite a shock, as neither of them had discussed their plans to leave with their owners.
I'm lonely down here all on my own,
Splodge said.
Can we go up to Ponyland and see Dodge? Would that be possible, Desiree?
I suppose so, Desiree said. If you don't mind going down the rat-infested garden and up the rainbow, of course.
As long as it isn't dangerous, I don't mind. I don't like danger, you know,
Splodge said, before cautiously walking out of his hutch and on to a little tray which Desiree presented him with. She always carried him down the garden on this so that he didn't have to mix with the unsavoury characters who ran around their back garden. It's 7:40 p.m. now, Desiree said, but let's see if we can go up to Ponyland and how much time we can spend before one of them calls me back. Desiree spoke of her parents, since her father had said that he was coming in to take them to Toys R Us, and so he would surely be in soon.
Well, that's all right, as long as I can go and speak to my brother, even if it's only for a short time.
Desiree nodded and led the little guinea pig down the garden. Before she wandered out of the hall, though, Desiree had looked round the lounge door and seen her mother, who was having a turn on the computer, looking up family history. She complained that she wasn't having much of a turn, since the computer had switched off on her yet again. Desiree saw her Sparkle screensaver and silently shed a tear. As she walked down the garden path, she was not observant enough to notice that something was following her. Something small, glowing, and pink. As it had happened, though, Desiree and Splodge had not gone up to Ponyland that day. No sooner had Desiree touched the flower-shaped button at the bottom of the magical rainbow leading up to Ponyland than her mother was standing in the back doorway, calling her back up the path. It was quite late the following night when Desiree decided to try again. David had gone out to Tesco, and Splodge was still desperate to see his brother. So Desiree once again sat him on the tray which she carried him down the garden on, and this time they did get up the rainbow, still not noticing that there was a small, pink, glowing, mysterious shape drifting just a little way behind.
How can a whole week have gone past?
Truly said, gazing out of the Paradise Estate window.
I just can't believe it. It doesn't seem like 5 seconds since Twinkle was laying on my bed.
She stared sadly at the empty hutch which hung from the Paradise Estate bedroom wall.
It's horrible to lose a pet, truly,
Lofty said, remembering her rabbit Lucky.
I just can't imagine why he didn't tell me that he was going after Rainbow Land.
Truly said.
Well, you know,
Pinkie Pie, their friend from Ponyville who was visiting, said,
I think sometimes they just don't want us to know what they're up to. Unless it's a case that they don't know themselves.
Everybody had been very happy since the black ponies and their helpers had gone away. Most of the 60 black pony helpers were still locked up in rooms beneath the dream castle, and so they could do no more damage to ponies by painting them, and there would be no more attacks from the black ponies. It had been almost 7 months now, although it didn't seem that long. They had become friends with some of the helpers, those who had been tricked into joining the black ponies. They had even made permanent rainbows, which led up from the before-mentioned former black pony helpers' gardens, giving them a direct link to Ponyland, should they ever want to come and talk to their new friends.
I never thought that I would miss Twinkle.
Dodge, who was visiting with his owner from Paradise Land, said,
I never thought that I would miss having somebody to steal my cucumber cakes. However, now that it's actually happened, well, I do miss him. I miss him very much.
Just then, Desiree walked into the room. Splodge raced over to his brother and nuzzled his face, while Desiree hugged Truly. I wish there was a way, Desiree said, gazing out of the window up at the stars, that we could see our lost friends again. But most of all, I wish that Sparkle and Twinkle could come home.
In my arms forever, so we've always been together. Then last Wednesday he left me all alone. Now he's gone off to Rainbow-land, I could feel us going quicksand. If Sparkle could only come home. To build impressed I could think. We never thought we would see until we found a new place to roam. Now come to my salary, talking to come the cake. Or even tell him how my heart aches. Oh, Twinkle, why can't you come home? Why must the world be so gloomy? Why must everyone go away? I want to kiss that little nose, see him kick those little toes. Twinkle, why could you not stay? We're not even our pets. You will curse the first one who forgets. They're the cute little guys I've ever known. My best friend's gone and I'm bereft, and memories are all that's left. Little crying girls, what's gone is gone. Twinkle, we want you. Sparkle, we want you back home. Well, I guess, just as my owner said, there isn't much point crying now. We don't even know where they are. But I have this feeling that since they didn't discuss it with us first, they went away for a reason. But I don't know what that reason was. I'm going to have to leave now. It's getting late. Desiree glanced at the clock and realized that it was almost 11:15 at night. I will come back tomorrow, though. Well, that's a great idea, Desiree. I think that we could all benefit from some time together. Indeed we could. If only there was like a way that, you could see me again. Because I don't say well you can now, Sparkle! Sparkle! Where are you? I thought we'd like to be together, but it appears that we're, not. The second voice got no reply, and the first voice continued. Twinkle, Twinkle, I do hope that you are somewhere safe. I would love to speak to you, since I think you are the only one who may be able to see me now, although I have no idea why this is. Neither of the owners of these voices could hear each other, and none of the ponies, humans, and guinea pigs in Paradise Estate could hear either one of them. So they didn't notice as the two quiet yet familiar voices once again drifted away into the night. When Desiree and Splodge returned to Ponyland the following day, it was very sunny. Perfect weather, the friends decided, for an afternoon stroll around Ponyland.
They discussed their lost friends for a while, and then moved on to happier subjects. The defeat of the Black Ponies last November.
It is really strange how some of the helpers turned out not to be so hurt.
Kiwi Tart said.
That it was, Kiwi Tart.
Her friend Shellbell replied.
I actually became quite good friends with my former helper 55. TSG is nice, but a bit blinky.
Grand Finale said. Even now that the helpers were no longer helpers, the ponies could not get out of the routine of calling them by their initials. The former helpers seemed to prefer this too. I haven't seen any of them in a while, Desiree said. Have any of you seen 20 and that annoying woman who keeps flicking her hair back and chattering excitedly all the time? Indeed we have, Splodge said, throwing his eyes to the sky. And she said that she'd be back this week. They crossed the Rainbow Bridge over the Paradise Lake, and then Truly spotted something by one of the railings. Oh look, it's Twinkle's old deck chair. He must have left it there last time he was sunbathing.
I didn't like to that, Truly. Oh, please, can I just lay out in the sun once more with you, you know? I don't understand why you don't like talking to me.
A voice said not too far away, although nobody heard it.
Desiree! Desiree! I can see you down there. So why aren't you speaking to me? Have I done something wrong? I don't know where I am. And how come I can fly now?
Another voice said, and this time it was even nearer. But once again, nobody heard. Well, I guess I might as well take you back to Paradise Estate with me, Truly said. Although I don't think anybody's going to be using it now. The two little figures in the sky looked down at their friends, standing in a group on the bridge. Neither of them could see each other, and it would appear that the group of friends on the bridge could see neither of them.
Quite strange. It's almost as though we're very far apart.
One of the voices spoke again, although by this time the owner of the voice had realized that he was only speaking to himself. He knew that he and his friends were not very far apart at all, which was why he was surprised when all of his friends on the bridge began to sing a certain song. Both of the mysterious pink glowing creatures in the sky decided to join along with the song, in the vague hope that somebody might hear them.
Can't go on. When can I go?
It hurts to know we're far apart.
Why can't we see?
Where's bright spark?
Where is she?
Twinkle and I,
So far apart.
we miss our friends. We both reached the turn, rainbow's ends. No more fun and games in the sun. We're sharing kicks and tots with you, dearest one. I cried tears. I miss those years.
Me too.
He and I,
Me too.
so far apart. Friends departed, leave us alone and broken hearted. They travel to the unknown far away. We can only hope to meet again someday, meet someday. Wish I
Could see little twink. Truly.
sparkle and die,
Just me.
so far apart. I cry tears.
Boo-hoo.
I miss those years. apart.
You know?
He and I too, so far apart.
And down the ponies, humans, Splodge and Dodge, began to walk back to Paradise Estate, unaware that the two guinea pigs who they had been singing about had been singing along with them the entire time. The helpers down in the dungeons under Dream Castle were getting very restless.
We've only been here 6 months.
Eleanor Glastonbury complained.
And yet it feels like 60 years has passed already. And we can't even get back at the ponies, because they won't let us out for long enough to capture any of them and paint them. I don't understand why I got a life sentence anyway. All I did was make a few of the ponies pretty.
They just don't appreciate our artwork.
Former helper number 22, Sarah Lewis, said.
They think that we were hurting ponies or something. I don't understand it. We were only painting a few plastic toys.
A few plastic toys that were really alive, Mary Clutton cackled. And don't worry, Eleanor. I have plans already. What those idiotic ponies failed to do before they locked us up in here was to check properly that we had no secret weapons on us. Mary Clutton held her hand out, revealing a small black thing sitting on her fingertips. It was a mobile phone, and I had all of the phone numbers of my pony collecting friends still in my address book, which means I called them all up just recently, and they are plotting something as we speak. Right now, they are too busy getting famous people to scribble all over defenseless plastic toys, which, of course, we all know are not forever plastic, as many people may think. A.B., better known to some as B.G., or to most of the ponies, and that horrible, horrible girl from Earth, as B.B., is working very hard for me. She is trying to turn helper number 20 and helper number 31 back to our side, the right side. However, a certain woman, known as SLM, has already decided to partly ruin my plans. But I'll tell you right now that it won't work. And so the former helpers all stood in a big circle and cackled together in the dungeon beneath Dream Castle, knowing that very soon the black ponies would return.
I just wonder where, I am, you know.
Twinkle said to himself as he floated gently through the air.
I've called out at Truly so many times, but he does not appear to, hear me. And I don't remember being able to fly in the good old days. It's just absolutely dreadful. Although I must admit, my lovely glow would go just great with my lucky, hat. Unfortunately, though, I can't appear to pick up my, lucky hat.
Twinkle desperately tried to scoop up his lucky hat from Truly's bedside table, but it seemed that his mouth slipped straight through it. There was no way that he could pick it up.
Just absolutely great. I'd always wished for a glow like this ever since I saw a guinea pig long ago with, one of them. But it seems like now it's no good to me anyway. I just need to find out, what's going on and, find somewhere to go. Surely someone around here can, see me. Can't you? I can see you.
A voice said from high above Twinkle, and suddenly the little ginger guinea pig felt a presence by his side. He turned round to see another guinea pig, with a surrounding pink glow. A strawberry roan-coloured Abyssinian guinea pig with a white stripe down her nose.
Do you remember me?
The guinea pig asked, as Twinkle backed away, startled by the strange appearance of this mystical creature. Yes? Yes? That sounds good. Yes? Is there a possibility that you could make it sooner? Yes? Right. Okay. See you then. Mary Cluckton pressed the button on her mobile phone to switch it off following the telephone conversation. Who was that? Eleanor Glastonbury asked. That, my friend, was David Alder. FP, AB, and RB said that they would be able to make it to Ponyland sometime later this week. If we could get hold of some of Desiree's ponies, well, let me just let you think about this for just one moment. Eleanor looked on blankly. Yeah? So what happens next? Oh, for goodness sake, Eleanor, are you really that stupid? If we can get hold of some of Desiree's precious ponies, preferably some of those that we'd already made beautiful, but she uncustomized, then Freya and her friends will be able to use those when they get 31 and 20 back on their side. And that will be just perfect. Desiree will have to see her own ponies, with huge black scribbles all over them. Oh, I get you now. That's a great idea. But how's it help us? Well, since we're kind enough to donate the ponies to their silly charity, which of course is for customizing supplies. You didn't think that a tissue actually cost £1, did you? What do you think happens to the remainder of the money? We need lots of paint and dye and hair and plenty of other equipment. But since we were so kind to donate the ponies, which once belonged to the person who they hate most in the world, they will set us free. And then we can track our old friend down. I know that many of you never looked into those red eyes. But when you see him, you will know why I created all of those black ponies in the first place. And very soon, my friends, they will be back to terrorize Ponyland once more. So how are you going to get hold of the ponies, Mary? 60 has offered to help me, and since he says the girl from Earth is ungrateful and charmless, which I entirely agree upon. And best of all, since 60 doesn't know all that much about ponies, I told him which MLPs we required. Those with the Shire horse feet, the tinsel in their manes, and some of the babies, plus any that appear to have strangely loose heads. Hopefully we will get many Argentinian ponies, mountain boys, German princesses, and Spanish baby ponies. Just perfect for my latest plan. Sparkle flew sadly over Paradise Lake and gazed at the rainbow, which his owner always climbed up to get to Ponyland. He was sad because his friends could no longer see him. He had realized after singing that song along with them, although they could not hear him, that even though they were not so far apart in distance, they may as well be, since there was no way that he could ever communicate with them again. He did not understand why this was, though, and so he sadly began to sing, unaware that he was about to get a big surprise. They can't see me. close friends of mine. Even when I fly around their heads and shine. My life's so different, somewhat strange. They say I've gone, now I feel no change. I don't know where I am or even where to go. I shine, shine out, because I can see your light. My crown feel right, so let's shine. Shine out, in your darkest night. You'll find it might help to shine. Bingo! Like, where are we? Can't you see? We're on the way to Rainbow Land. Any more you want to know why we fly so high? I want so many answers. Well, let's at least try. We're gonna go, you know. Indeed we shall. I miss Desiree and everyone. I want another day for words, food and fun. What is this place? With no one and hard job that mirror face we won't land. Place of dreams so grand, we'll find all you want. From glass to sand we will land. Join a happy band. Take my palm of your hand in hand to Rainbow Land. Follow me! Light the earth up, me and you, we gotta shine. Shine on! We look like stars inside, but you know cloudless night, we all shine. Shine on! Hold like bathing me, purple lights, you know shine. Shine on, as you shine. Shine on, as you like shine, you know. Shine on, as you like shine. So that's what was happening. It was my time to go to Rainbow Land, but I never understood before. Well, if this is Rainbow Land, I'm really pleased to be here. What a beautiful place! And all of that grass over there! Sparkle and Twinkle raced off towards a patch of Yorkshire fog grass, and Bubbles, Dieselbell, Clover, Soapy, Diesarella and Lucky followed them. Two people who Sparkle and Twinkle had never met before wandered over and began to stroke the two little guinea pigs. Who are they? Sparkle whispered to Bubbles, not wanting to offend the two humans who appeared to be very nice.
Oh, of course, I forgot that you hadn't met them before. These are Desiree's grandparents. I'm sure that you've heard her talking about them. Oh, yes, we have, you know,
Twinkle said, nuzzling the hand that was stroking him.
And now we may throw a huge party to welcome you two to your new home,
Dieselbell said.
We have been waiting for you.
The two guinea pigs turned around and saw that magically a table had appeared, laid with all kinds of guinea pig treats. And soon all of the pets were munching happily together, pleased to be reunited in Rainbow Land at last.
Over a week has passed, Mary,
Eleanor Glastonbury complained.
So what's your next plan? David Alder appears to have let us down.
I gave him special instructions, Eleanor, to steal the ponies when there was a fair chance of Desiree not noticing for a few days, until it was too late. That may take some time, you see, but I think it is for the better in the end. Just then, Mary's mobile phone rang once more. It was almost as though Eleanor Glastonbury had brought on the phone call which everybody had been awaiting. Mary answered the phone, and as the conversation concluded, the corners of Mary's mouth turned upwards in a grin of evil glee. Now, we all know the saying that time flies when you're having fun, so it must be quite apparent that in Rainbow Land, time flies faster than anybody could possibly imagine. And so it was only on the 25th of July that a certain black dog looked up at a cloud calendar above the table where the happy party had been feasting and realized just how long they had been there. Nimrod pointed this out to Dandelion.
Well, that's odd. Look at the time.
Dandelion exclaimed.
Very, very odd.
His brother Softwheat answered.
Could have sworn we'd only been here a few minutes. Or hours at the most. Well, we may as well continue just a little longer.
Jumpy, the white lop-eared rabbit, said. And so everyone sat down once more to eat yet more food, while a lot of the guinea pigs began to play a game of sunbeam bouncer catch under the beautiful rainbow, which had just appeared as if by magic through the Rainbow Land clouds. Desiree and Jackie had both gone to Ponyland on the 27th of June 2006, and so it was that they did not notice when David Alder crept stealthily up the rainbow and towards Dream Castle. They did not see how he walked down a hidden flight of stairs, and how he crawled through a tunnel, a secret passageway in fact, into a series of corridors which surrounded the dungeons where the helpers were kept. And because of this, they did not notice the rather large black sack which he dragged along behind him. Sparkle and Twinkle up in Rainbow Land were watching, however, and wondering why this former helper, and in the case of Sparkle, Owner's father, was creeping around in the dungeons with his former helper friends. After all, he had been freed, supposedly so that he could take Desiree and Jackie out in the car, each and every day, which he had failed to do. They could have understood it had he been being led into the dungeon by one of the ponies, because of all of the rules which he had broken and the crimes that he had committed. But he wasn't. He was creeping around as a free man. He must have got special permission to come to Ponyland to see his old friends. The two guinea pigs hovered above Dream Castle and then glided through one of the walls and down through the floor to see what David Alder was up to. Did you get the stuff we asked you for or not? Helper number 3, Ashley Vermilio, asked, rather crossly, looking at David and not seeing the black bag behind him. Be quiet, Ashley. I need to speak to David in private. Former helper number 59 grinned and winked at David, and David winked back. Then all of the helpers ran off and stood in the furthest corner of the room where they were locked, so as to let Mary have as much privacy as possible. So did you get all of the CB that I asked you to? Mary whispered. David nodded, and slowly began to pass the contents of his black bag through the bars, which kept the former helpers in the other half of the room. Mary's evil smile grew brighter and brighter as David handed more and more custom bait through the bars.
Where'd you think that he got that from, you know?
Twinkle asked. And why isn't he giving it to Desiree? Sparkle mused.
Very puzzling indeed, you know.
Twinkle chimed in. Very puzzling, Twinkle. And rather worrying, too. Sparkle shook his head sadly, not being able to figure out the ins and outs of the mystery, until a thought hit him, which made him feel sick to his stomach. The two little guinea pigs watched for a few minutes longer, until David had emptied the contents of his bag completely. Then he handed the black bag through, so that Mary could hide the ponies in it and put it under her bed. The ponies always made sure that their prisoners were comfortable, and so each of the helpers had a rather large bed with plenty of storage space underneath. Once the plastic ponies which David had brought, which Sparkle thought looked strangely familiar, were all hidden away, David shook Mary's hand through the bars and went away, just as quickly as he had come. Sparkle looked at Twinkle with a meaningful glance, but Twinkle did not understand. And so the two little ginger guinea pig brothers went off to Rainbow Land, where Sparkle could tell his twin where he thought the ponies had come from. And once this had been done, the Rainbow Land inhabitants would have to think of a way to do something about their predicament. After all, they were now the only ones who knew what was going on, and only those who lived in Rainbow Land could even see the Rainbow Land inhabitants, or anything from the magical world up in the clouds even higher than Ponyland. And at the end of the day, even now that Sparkle thought he knew what was going on, what could a group of heavenly creatures who could no longer interact with their earthly friends, or even pick up earthly objects, do to stop the atrocities that were currently happening in Ponyland and down on Earth? Sparkle explained to Twinkle and all of his newly found friends in Rainbow Land what he thought had happened. The creatures of Rainbow Land fretted all night and could still not think what to do the following day. They must think of something quickly, though, for the ponies which David Alder had stolen would soon be damaged. If what Sparkle had overheard Mary saying in a telephone conversation today was true, that somebody was coming to free the helpers in exchange for the ponies on Monday, the 2nd of July. The former Black Pony helpers, the ones who still wished to be helpers, that was, the ones who were locked up in the room beneath Dream Castle, were quite disappointed when Mary's friends did not show up on Monday, the 2nd of July. When Mary rang FP on her phone, she learnt that AB had been having a hard time, and FP and RB had been so busy convincing their so-called friends to hand over money for AB to use on customizing supplies that they hadn't got round to going to Ponyland. They would be up sometime later in the week, though, as soon as they figured out how to get there. Sparkle and Twinkle, overhearing this conversation, were very pleased, since they had still not thought of a plan to rescue Desiree's stolen ponies. There's no way that she'll even notice they're missing unless she goes to rearrange them on the floor, or clean them, or something like that. Sparkle worried. His brother nodded sadly. Both of the guinea pigs floated over to Paradise Land and gazed down at Desiree through a window of a certain house on a certain hill. She was sitting on the end of a bed, playing a game of cucumber chase with Splodge and his brother Dodge.
I wish that we could, join in, you know,
Twinkle said, but he knew that there was no way they could even get through to Desiree, which was the reason that Sparkle could not tell his former owner about her father and the helpers and their nasty plans for the ponies which they had already stolen from her. But wait a moment. Suddenly, the bed which Desiree was sitting on made Sparkle think of people who were asleep, which gave him an idea. It may be the case that we cannot get through to people who are awake, Twinkle. But what about those who are not awake? Twinkle looked at his brother for a moment, confused, and then a smile of recognition spread across his face. The two short-haired ginger guinea pigs were still unsure how to go through with their plan, though. The only one they could think of who knew anything about dream messages was Ribbon. But since Ribbon lived in Ponyland, they could obviously no longer communicate with her. The brothers had made their way back to Rainbow Land that night to find that the golden gates were shut. There was no way to get through. Twinkle noticed a small sign hanging from the huge padlock on the gates and began to read it to Sparkle.
I haven't been out of Rainbow Land for such a long time. You're not coming back until you've solved the problem. Like, what's that meant to mean, you know?
I think, Twinkle, that it means we've been away from Rainbow Land for far too long, and we will not be readmitted until Desiree's ponies are safely back at the rescue home. So the guinea pigs could not ask the advice of their newly found friends in Rainbow Land either. They were trapped in Ponyland, all on their own.